Hey Corin, what's up, Kun? Hope everyone's doing well. Hi Ivan, welcome. Well, hopefully, Kun. Depends on if someone has great questions this time. I will just be here for as long as I can. Might be even an hour. Hello, Lacrise. Hello, Alessa. I might be here for like an hour or so. I'm not sure. I'm just doing some random work, so I thought, you know what? Let's go live and see if someone has a question for me. So if you do have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm live on Instagram and live on YouTube as well. It's been a while since I've been live on YouTube. I'm figuring out this whole thing. It's been a really long while, actually. I've done a lot of things on the artist coaching YouTube, but I haven't really done anything on the JoeySuki YouTube. So I thought, you know what? Let's go back to the Suki YouTube. I'm all good, Jamie. How are you? I'm doing very well. I actually spent the morning bringing my bike to the mechanic because my bike's broken. For those who are familiar with the brand Van Moof, it's a Dutch brand. It's a great looking bike, but the technicals are pretty shitty and they have a lot of problems with the bikes. One of them was mine, so I had to bring it back to the shop to get it fixed. So that's how I spent most of my morning. I had to go to Eindhoven. And now I had a few spare minutes. So I thought, you know what, let's go live. After all, I am advocating that live streaming will be a big thing for artists in the upcoming year. So I thought, why not do the same exact thing? Like do whatever I tell people to do. I should do it myself as well. So you could see me live more often in the future. Oh, you were watching my latest podcast, Jamie. How did you like it? Was it the one with about ultra music, like the most recent one, or was it another one that you were looking at? Ooh. Boom. Yeah, it was a live stream about ultrasets and all. Really good episode. Thank you. We really enjoy doing these episodes. It's we do those on a weekly base now. Every Wednesday we record a new one, and it will be uploaded on Thursdays. At least I try. So I really appreciate that people like it. The numbers of listeners as also went up. It's funny to see that you always start with zero. Like even if we do the episode with like Bass Hackers and Jay, who do have a lot of following, we relatively have less listeners. But yeah, it's great to see that the numbers go up right now, and that's mainly because of the consistency. Though I've been telling about that often. That consistency is the most important thing. And in case of point with the podcast, that's what you see. It's hard to be consistent because it's easy to slack. Same with workouts. It's easy to slack every now and then. And whenever you don't feel like doing it, just say fuck it, I don't do it, and there goes the consistency. So that's why it's so hard. But still, like I think we're already, let's say, 2 or 3 months in. We started this year. First 2 weeks were pretty hard being consistent, to be honest. But after like 2 or 3 weeks, when it got into the habits of everyone, it became a lot easier. So if you haven't watched the podcast yet, by the way, that's what we're talking about, is the artist coaching podcast, which I do with Bass Checkers and with Jay Hardway every week. You can look it up on Spotify or any kind of other streaming service that you use. It's the artist coaching podcast. As I said, weekly podcast, mostly bullshit, mostly funny. But still, we try to deliver value every week. I'm trying to stay consistent learning Dutch. Sometimes it's hard. Yeah, it's super hard. Everything you need to learn in a new way, it takes time, it takes effort, and it's hard. Ivan's music live streaming is building authenticity. Yes, it is, because what you see is what you get. There's no editing. There's nothing that changes me from what I am. And that's why I believe so big in live streaming for artists in the upcoming period of time, because authenticity is all what is about these days. People want to see the real you. They want to interact with the real you. And I think just live streaming is one of the best ways to do that. Like editing stuff is really time consuming. You need to either do it yourself or have someone else to do it for you. Live streaming is just like click and go, especially with Instagram and TikTok. If you have, I think it's more than 1,000 followers. YouTube, same thing. It's just click and go. And there you go. Like right now, I'm streaming on YouTube and Instagram. That's it. All it took me was 2 clicks. And I know that for most artists, the hardest part comes after that click, which is, what would people think of me? Do I say something stupid? All those insecurities come on top and arise to the surface. And to be honest, I get it, but at the same time, I also don't get it, because you need to do these kind of things as an artist to present yourself to the outside world. As long as you keep making music and save those songs on your desktop and do nothing else, like no content, nobody will ever get to know you. Your music won't reach any other person. You will just stay where you are and nothing will happen. And I just think that's a shame. So if you are planning to at least build a career in music, like, content is the game. And you need to become comfortable with content. I know it's hard. I know it's going to take a lot of time for you to get used to it, but it needs to happen, unfortunately. What's up, Remco? I see also people watching on YouTube. What's up? 4 people watching on YouTube and 3 watching on Instagram. Nice to have you here, everyone. I also mentioned in the Discord that I was live, so maybe a few people. Let me know if you came through Discord. Hey, what's up, him? Let me know if you came through the Discord, because I have a community there called the Sukiverse, which has almost 500 artists from all over the world, where we do bi-weekly Q&As, actually. So that's fun. And like random music talks all week long, obviously. Can creating content with your music make you more desirable for promoters to book you? Yeah, definitely. Can creating content with your music? Yeah, definitely. Like what I would tell an artist at this point is just go live streaming from the studio. Like turn on the video, put like a camera on the side, turn on your mic, and mute it for most of the time, or share the audio from your computer. But just make music live. I think that's the easiest way for an artist to create content these days, and to make it as authentic as possible and have as less friction as possible, because it's just click live and go. And if there's any valuable content in there, you can just cut it out and use it as a reel, or use it as a TikTok or a YouTube Shorts, or whatever you want. But I think it's the most valuable and easy way as an artist to create content these days. Just go live when you make music. Talk to the audience, talk to your fans, talk to people what you're doing or why you're doing it, or interact with them. I just think that that's one of the best ways to build an audience these days. Joey, I had a question. What's the difference between DSP vs editorials vs playlists? I've heard these words recently, but I'm curious how they are related. Okay. This DSP, I think, is a distribution partner. Let me check. What's a DSP? Digital service provider. Yeah, exactly. Like iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. So that's the platform where you send your music to, where people stream your music. iTunes, Spotify, those type of platforms. And the editorials are playlists as well. And editorials versus playlist. Editorials are playlists. It's just, I think what you mean is that editorials could be the ones who are, let's say, owned by Spotify, for example. Like you have the personal private playlist from personal private people like you and I. We could start a playlist and share that with the world. But at the same time, there's also Spotify owned playlist, and I think that that's what you mean with editorial playlists. If you want to get your song in there, you need to pitch it to Spotify itself. And yeah, that's the only way to get featured in there. If you want to pitch your music to persons like me, for example, or third parties who also have playlists, you can use platforms like Submit Hub, and maybe your music gets featured in there through that. But that's the difference between DSP and editorials and playlists, if that's what you mean. No worries, happy to help. Is there anyone watching right now who came through the Discord? Just out of curiosity. What do you think about pre-recorded set on festivals? Well, we actually talked about this in the podcast with Ralph from Bassjackers. This doesn't happen that often. You know, I know that it's a thing, and I know that a lot of people think that it happens a lot. But in realistic ways, not a lot of DJs do it. I know that a lot of things, like, for example, what does happen is that artists do like 2 or 3 tracks are all connected to each other, like pre-mixed, but they do mix like those blocks onto each other, like connected to each other. But yeah, pre-recorded sets, I don't know, like, I don't think it's that great. I wouldn't do it that quickly myself, to be honest. I do get it why artists would do it, especially with those big shows. Because if you want to have the pyro and everything, like if you want to have the show right, pre-recorded might be the way. I just don't think that many artists would go that route. But, you know, it could happen. If I think there's an episode in the podcast a couple of weeks ago where Ralph explained how it works at Tomorrowland, how they do it with their shows. So if you're interested in how it works with the pyro and the lighting in combination with the music during Tomorrowland, for example, that's where he explains it. I also made a reel from it, which should be on Artist Coaching Instagram somewhere. What's up, Rox Remora? Hello, William X. Good to have you here. If you have a question, make sure to drop it in the chat. Happy to help. Jobke is missing tomorrow, right? Yes, I think we have a guest tomorrow. Let me check in the podcast. Or is that next week? Oh, that's next week. I think tomorrow is just Jobke, Ralph, and I. Yeah, and the week after will be a guest. So that will be like a Dutch DJ that we know from back in the days. I'm actually not sure how active he still is. Where in the Charms? Lucky Charms? Maybe you know him? Lucky Charms. Let me see his Instagram. I actually haven't checked yet, so I should check it now. Lucky Charms. He is... Oh, it's also a cereal brand. That's great. Lucky Charms. Charms Music. That's it. Oh, seems active. Yeah, he's still active. Cool. Well, we got him in the show next week. Could you make personal Year roadmap for artists, like it's in IT. What do you mean in IT? Could you make personal year roadmap? Ivanson, what do you mean with IT? I'm not sure what you mean there. Hey, what's up, Dario? Welcome to the stream. Hey, what's up? A DJ here in my hometown advised me to change my genre to cater to the audience. I didn't like that advice, but should I take that into consideration? A DJ here in my home country advised me to change my genre to cater to the audience. No, you should never take that advice. And the reason for that is that you should always create and play what you want to do. If you are talking about local gigs, if you're talking about like playing in a local bar or whatever, then it would make sense to kind of cater to the audience, because that's might not necessarily be what your brand should be about or is going to be about, because you're still building it. So in that case, I shouldn't cater to the audience, or I would cater to the audience, sorry. But if you are trying to build a brand here, if you're trying to build a career from music, you need to do something you want to do and stick to that, and don't cater to anyone else. Like just focus on what you want to make, and that's it. What's up, Dario? You're at work. Nice. What do you work? What kind of work do you do? Hey, what's up, Ewa Pepper? In IT, there's a lot of program languages. So if you want to pivot, need to have roadmap to have detailed year plan to achieve it. In music also could be nice to have such a plan to implement strategic planning for a year of art's career. Okay. Well, that's hard to give just one plan, because it's very different for every artist. It really depends on where you are in your career. If you're just starting out, or if you're already a few steps further, or if you're already like making a living from your music, it really depends on where you are in your career, what your next steps are going to be. But overall, like what's the same for everyone is release music consistently, every month, at least one song, and try to be visible on social media. Like post content, try to do that on a daily basis. Also try to go live every now and then. Like it all comes down to the same things to me. It's creating visibility, and it's being consistent with your releases. One other thing that's also really important aside from that, it's music, content, and its network. That's one of the things a lot of people underestimate as well. Your network is so damn important. And yes, you can use internet for that. You can connect with a lot of people worldwide when it comes down to networking. But having like a real one-on-one conversation in real life with someone is just priceless. So try to focus on that as well. What's up, Nikki? I hope you're well. Hey, look at that. My CrossFit gym just joined. For everyone who wonders if I ever work out, ask them. There are some really great, interesting guys in the music business who have done other podcasts recently. And as I was watching, I kept thinking your podcast and how they'd be great on there. Thank you, Im. Which other podcast do you listen to? Because I actually really struggle to find nice music-related podcasts. Like podcasts where you can get some sort of value, like not just artists talking about their music, for example. I really want to hear something like maybe something relevant or what's going on in the music industry. Hey, what's up, John and Mr. Smith? Mrs. Smith. Why is my mouse struggling lately? Does anyone else has a mouse like this? Like it's fucking up lately. After we discussed Ultra bookings, I watched a podcast with an agent from UTA. It was the Headliners Mindset podcast. Oh, that's great to know. I'll check it out. What's up, El Ray? Yeah, sure, Em. I do consider guests requests for the podcast. I think they will be open to coming. There's an emoji stuck on the last word, so I can't read what's onto. I think that will be open coming on since they've done a podcast recently. Yeah, let me know. Or is it those guys you're talking about, like the Headliners Mindset podcast? What's up, Reverse Impact? Welcome. Feel free to drop your questions, guys. I'll just be here for the next, I don't know. I'll just leave it on as long as I'm free. So feel free to drop your questions here. What's up, Zyro? Thank you, Reverse. I will. How are you, Zyro? Well, right now I'm doing a few of those random things, like that's why I turn on the live stream just to talk with you guys here. How are you doing? I actually have been in India. I've done a tour there. I'm not playing anymore though. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I quit playing about 10 years ago, and then I toured. Back then, I toured there. So I would love to come back, but just probably not as a DJ. Dario, dear Joey, I have a question actually. I would really say I'm a beginner DJ producer. I've been releasing quite a lot in the last few years, including self-releases by making cool edits, but the DJ scene in the area where I live, which is Belgium, is like a pain in the ass. I played at Tomorrowland last year, but being able to play there again seems like a task that is near to impossible. Hello, Sylvian. What's your opinion about it, and how can I build good contacts with those that are associated with festivals like Tomorrowland? That's really tough, I always think about it like planting seeds, because everyone you come around with in your artist career could be someone in the future that helps you onto a big stage or a label, or could help you in the next step for your career. So it's more about getting to know many people and talking to them, be kind to them, stay in contact with them, like maintain your relationship as well. I think that's also something that's really underestimated for a lot of artists. I always look at it the way how you build friendships. Getting to know someone is one thing, or maybe have one date or whatever is one thing, but like send them a message when is their birthday, be kind to them, like build memories together. That's what eventually builds a relationship. And I think that's the same rules go for building business relationships as well. So I don't think there's a real way to do it. I just think it's more like stay consistent with your music releases, stay consistent with your content output, and try to meet as many people as possible. And show them what you're building. Like get them excited about what you're doing here with your music and with your brand. Because if someone gets excited about what you are doing, they will offer you a stage. They will offer you a stage. Zyro, you can send it into the Discord if you want. We have like a demo, how do you call it? Like a demo opportunity there. So if you go to the Discord, I think it's on my profile, the Sukiverse. You can send it in there if you want. What's up, Serge? Guys like booking agents, A&Rs would be really insightful to hear from in the podcast. That's a good one, actually. I did have a few booking agencies and A&Rs in the past. So if you are interested in that, you could look it up. I've had one with the guy from Tool Room. I've had one with Rakesh, which is my old booker who used to work with Tomorrowland as a head of bookings. So if you go back to the podcast on my YouTube channel, for example, and look it up, like there are a few A&R managers and bookers. It just has been like a couple of years. What's up, Serge? Hope you're doing well. Perfect, Zyro. Hope to see you there. It's called the Sukiverse. Let me see if I can. I think it's on my. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on my Instagram. Thank you, Zyro. It's actually. Wait, let me show it to you. It's the office. So this is where we do all the. Oh, this is the office, as you can see. And this is where we do all the coaching. All the coaching. These are like a few wristbands from back in the days. Fun times. So this is my office, actually. I love this place as well. It's an old farm. For those who don't know, this is actually an old piggery. There used to be pigs here, and right now it's just me and clients. For those watching on YouTube, sorry I can't bring you on tour. Thank you, Dario. I appreciate it. What's the kind of music that you guys are listening to these days? Like what's most happening at this point? Zyro, you're more than welcome. There's many actually clients, for example, from artist coaching who sometimes fly in. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes people from other countries fly in to come by, and we do sessions. What's up, Apollos Santonas? If I pronounce it correctly, I don't know. Thank you, man. My monitors are, it's the DIN Audios. Oh, wait, let me show you. It's the DIN Audios. These ones. It's actually my favorite ones. I have them for, I think I've been using them for like, what is it, like 5-6 years? I don't know. No, wait, much longer. Since I've quit 10 years ago. Let's say I already have them 15 years. And I still love them. I still love the sound. It's good move to Amsterdam as a producer. Well, it's a funny question because I have had this question multiple times over the past 10 years, and I kept saying it doesn't matter because you have the internet, as I mentioned, you can connect with anyone from all over the world. But I kind of have come to the point where I'm changing my mind, because I do think that it could really help to move, because as I mentioned, having a real one-on-one conversation seems priceless these days. And that's only possible if you are in the spot where things happen, and Amsterdam just seems one of those places where a lot of things come together. A lot of the music industry in the Netherlands, at least, is situated over there. The bigger companies are situated over there. The bookers, the agencies, all those things. So yeah, it might be part of the solution, but still, moving is just one thing. Like actually going out and meeting the people and talking to the right people and making music at the same time and releasing music at the same time and posting content, like all those things should happen simultaneously. But yeah, moving to Amsterdam could be an option. But I think same goes for New York or London, for example. It's just those places where those hubs live, like the house music hubs, for example. Any plans for another event at ADE? Yes, definitely. We are definitely looking to do another event with ADE this year. I'm trying to make it a bit bigger than normally, because normally we have like 20 to 30 people, and I think we can go bigger than that. So yeah, we're definitely looking into that. Are you coming, Jamie? When networking, do you just introduce yourself and then small talk? When exchanging numbers, do you give a reason to, or how does it work? Would it be odd to exchange numbers and send birthday messages only after brief conversation? Yeah, it's kind of like how do you say that? Like a human skill, you could say. Hey, what's up, Chupa Rusta Music? Hey, what's up? Uh, it's kind of like a thin line, like I always compare it like building a network in the music industry. I compare it with dating a girl. Like the first time you reach out to her, you're not going to try to get her into bed directly. I know some of you do, and sometimes it does happen, but in most cases, the most charming way to build that relationship, if you want to have a relationship, it's like taking it easy, spend time with each other, show some interest in each other, talk to each other, go on a second date, go on a third date, get to know each other, and like build the relationship slowly but steady. And that's the same thing with building a network in the music industry. It's not like going in for the kill directly, but more building the relationship slowly but steady. Like I do get it that sending a birthday message after you've met a person once might be a bit weird, but it could also be experienced as like, oh, that's pretty nice from that person that he actually sends something. So it's something you need to feel yourself. Like, is it appropriate or is it already, yeah, just like dating a girl. I don't really have another way to compare it. I just think that's the most accurate one that I can give you at this point. Thank you, Ivanson. Oh, that's too bad, Jamie. Hopefully you can make it this year. You need to be attraction to attract. Eli Bailey, my relationship with my boyfriend is estranged. Someone help. I'm not sure if this is a bot reply, but if it isn't, what can I help you with, Eli? Let me know. Why not do some therapy in the middle of it as well? You need to be attraction to attract. Well, I just think, just like with dating, you need to be yourself, like don't put up a show or make yourself any better than you are. Like just be yourself and show people who you are as a person. And I think that's the best way to build a connection. If there's no secrets there, yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. What's up, Bit3 Music? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. For example, if you meet a DJ, you would say, "We should make something sometime." That is an easy number exchange. Yes, that's true, him. But in that very particular example, you should always question, like, what's in it for. They will always question themselves, like, what's in it for me? Like, does it make sense for them to collaborate with you? If you don't know that person and directly go to them and say, like, hey, we should collaborate, like, they haven't even heard your music yet or whatever, like, first show some interest in that person, ask questions, listen to what they're saying, and then once that relationship is slowly getting built, then you could start asking them, like, hey, maybe we should create something together, after you've sent like 5 songs to that person and you might have got some feedback on it, for example. But yeah, you really need to take time to build that relationship and not just go in for the kill directly. I'm doing very well. Bit3 music, thank you. Yeah, but preparation is before the date. Yeah, that's what I mean with like taking the time, like you need to take time to build that relationship. Like invest some time into getting to know that person, listen to their music, watch their live sets, check their social media and see what they're all about and what they're doing. And it's more about that. Eli, we're expecting a baby. Congratulations. Any advice for first time moms? Enjoy every moment of it. It's super, super cliche. I have 2 little daughters myself. It's super cliche, but time flies. It really flies. Like my youngest one is turning 6 in 2 days. So enjoy every second of it. What would you say to get the number of the DJ in the first place? Well, if it's the first time you meet that DJ, just don't ask their number at first, especially these days. You can just reach out through direct messages or whatever. You don't necessarily need their number to stay in contact. If you reply on their social content each time, somehow they will start noticing you if they constantly see your name popping up. So just interact with them on social media, and then after a while, if you're in contact over DM, for example, then you could start asking them, like, hey, maybe I can give you a call or whatever, like those type of things. What's up, Lancy Green, Steven Hernandez, Frank Hagen, what's up? Everyone joining in on the live stream on Instagram, and we have a few people on YouTube as well. We're doing a Q&A here, just killing some time with you guys. If you have some questions, feel free to drop it here. What's up, Lancy? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. In real estate business, what I am in as a side job, all the time I'm looking for win-win situation is success. Well, it's the same exact thing in music, Something's only going to work if there's something in it for both of the parties. And you need to make sure, that's what I mean with building the value, offering them value. You need to make sure that if you ask for a collaboration, there's always something in it for the other person too. And that might be money. If you have a lot of streams on Spotify or whatever, you might get some revenue. So that could be a reason. On the other hand, it could be reach, because they can collaborate with you and you might have a big social and people can connect with you there, and their music gets like featured to your audience. So always think about what's in it for them and what's in it for me. And those things should be in balance. What's up, Imadi? I am Adi, sorry. I am Adi, yeah. Let me grab some water. By the way, do you like this kind of thing? Like just go live every more often and do Q&As? Especially people on YouTube. I haven't been that active on YouTube in the past few years. I've been a bit more active on Instagram, but especially on arts coaching. Eli, like just be there. I think that's the most important thing when it comes down to kids. Be there for them whenever they need you. I think that's the most valuable thing you can give your kid. It's the time you have. What's up, Bastian Bills? Music Cholico. In another podcast, I heard a DJ say that he got a gig at Ultra because he met a talent buyer from Ultra, made friends, and it all went from there. Well, there you go. He made friends. And when you have a relationship as a friend, you just go the extra mile. You know, like if you are stranded by somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night, and you call a stranger to come and pick you up, would they actually do it? No. Would your friend come? You probably will. At least I hope. So the deeper your relationship, the more you're willing to do for each other. And I think that that's the way how you describe it here. Like because he has a relationship with that person, he has built a relationship. He became friends that got him booked at Ultra. Have you, Ralph, and Jobke ever thought about doing a live stream podcast in one studio together? Yes, we were actually supposed to do one tomorrow, but unfortunately our schedules got kind of screwed and it isn't possible. We did our first live stream last week, so we are checking how we can manage that, like do the live stream so people can interact with us during the podcast recording. And then afterwards, the full episode gets uploaded. But yes, we are experimenting with it. What are your thoughts on TikTok Forward? TikTok Forward, do you mean like my thoughts on TikTok, or is TikTok Forward something I've missed? TikTok Forward, let me check. To activate. Oh yeah. Is that like the function you go like double the time, like extra quick? Or do you mean like what are your thoughts on TikTok on itself? I like the platform TikTok, I haven't been that active. I've been posting a lot on it on artist coaching as well. I just think that platform is a giant, like you can grow so quickly there. But again, you need to create a lot of content, and it needs to be adapted to that space. It needs to be edited in a lot of ways. I think live streaming on TikTok is really powerful. So if you have, I think you need about 1,000 followers there before you can actually go live there. So I think going live on TikTok is a monster. I think shorts on YouTube is really important and might be even more important in the future. But TikTok is definitely here to stay. They're killing the game at this point. If you think about social media, it's kind of TikTok all over the place, and Instagram obviously, but it's very much TikTok. I don't even think as an artist you just can't not be on there. You have to be on there because that's where your audience is, especially the younger crowds. They're all on there, and Snapchat, I believe. I don't use it personally, but I'm old. I'm a boomer, so who cares? But the younger audience definitely still uses Snapchat as well. Who has been trying some things out with shorts, YouTube shorts lately? Earlier, you thought TikTok would be banned. Well, could still happen, Actually, we're right in the middle of it. In the States, there's a lawsuit. Let me check. TikTok USA. As of June, I'm just reading here. As of June 2023, federal employees and state employees, they can't use it anymore. In March 2024, the United States House of Representatives passed, which could effectively ban TikTok unless ByteDance makes it qualified divestiture of subsidiary. Yeah, the only way, as far as I understand it, the only way TikTok is still going to be legal in the States is if a U.S. company is going to buy it. That's what we're in at this right time. So we'll have to see if it gets banned. But yeah, I did mention it back then. I think that has been 2 years ago. And it's still a risk, But, if it happens, another platform will arise. That's the thing. You should constantly keep looking at which platforms are the most interesting to you. Actually, the same thing happened with Instagram as well. Not necessarily that it could get banned, but they did had to change a lot of the rights and the structures to be able to stay on the market in the European Union. And they did actually recently. They had to change a lot of things to stay active here. Hey, what's up, Frank? Nice of you to join. Hope you're doing well. We are doing a live Q&A here, so if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'll take it from there. The DJ said he kept in touch with the Ultra promoter during COVID, and they talked about other ways they could work together other than bookings, and that led to a great relationship. Oh, that's fun. I think that's also one of the benefits that COVID brought us, is like people interacting with each other a bit more and kind of appreciating the one-on-one relationships as well. My experience is that it's much easier to get reach with TikTok than both Instagram and Shorts. Yeah, I could agree. It's just what I do wonder if with TikTok, the quality of your following, so the quality of your fan base, if that's high enough, like if you have a lot of followers, or let's say a lot of views, and apart from the followers, if you have a lot of views, it's kind of with the same thing with Spotify. Your song can have millions of listeners, but eventually not everyone is a fan. They might not know who you are in the end because they just saw your video coming by on the timeline and watched it for 2 seconds or 5 seconds and scrolled. And it's the same with music on Spotify. And the problem that a lot of DJs have with Spotify is that they are really big on Spotify, so they have millions of streams there, but they can't translate that into fans. And thus they don't get booked. And thus they don't have a brand. So I kind of see the same thing happening with TikTok. The quality of your following there, the quality of the views that you're getting, I'm just not sure if it's that high. What do you think could be other ways to work together with an ultra promoter other than bookings? Pooh. If it really comes down to the music industry, maybe you can help him out with something for his job. I don't know. Depends on what he needs. Maybe he needs some music for videos, like you can create the background music for him. Or maybe there's something else in his life, like maybe he has a hobby that you can help him with. Eventually, you have a skill to offer. You have something to offer, which is music. Just find a way how we can use that. What's up, Mikael? Welcome. Hello, Dike. But I really think that you need to think about what you can offer, and in most artists' ways, that's music, like making music. Maybe it's even content, like a lot of artists also really know how to make content, and that's also a skill. So if that person is struggling to make content and you know how a camera works and how to edit and how to make music, and like to you it might be the most normal thing that everyone knows how to make content, but most people just don't. It's kind of hard to most people. So if that's something you can do, try to offer that. What's up, Mike LaFunk? The Rory. Lancy, good to see you too, man. Have a good day. No worries. Him? It's now a century of managers or only promoters and now own marketing content. Managers or only promoters, and it's... Well, to me, it's kind of more the century of artists themselves, like back in the day, so let's say 10 years ago, you were really relying on managers and bookers and event promoters, because those were the ones who decided. Those were kind of the gatekeepers. Those people literally decided if your track got released, if you got on stage, like all those things. And part of those things are still true, but releasing music, for example, there are no gatekeepers anymore. Like, you can release your music anytime you want, anywhere you want, and it's pretty cheap to, let's say, free. So all those boundaries are gone. Same with reaching people. It used to be really hard to reach people, because you needed to get covered in magazines or in local newspapers. And these days it's just easy, like just turn on a live stream and look what happens. People start talking to you. People start tuning in. What's up, Geerten? What's up, Highhound System? Welcome. So I think it's just a lot more accessible these days as an artist to build a brand and to make a living from your music. It used to be a lot harder. Like, I'm not sure how old you all are, but I'm 35. And when I started making music, which was like 15 years ago, the world just was completely different. There was no social media, like we only could release through labels. So it's kind of in your favor to be able to self-release and to have social media to build your brand every minute of the day. What's up, Peter? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. And I know what I just said is kind of weird for younger people to hear, because that's the only reference you have, but it really is a lot easier than it used to be. By the way, another interesting thing that I noticed last week is that physical products are coming back, like vinyls or CDs or tapes. And I think that all has to do with, like, people want to have something that they can collect from their favorite artist, for example. Is that something you guys would be doing as well? Like, let's say, release your song on a vinyl or release your song on a CD, or so not just Spotify, but create something physical, something to hold, something to remember. But I feel like it's harder because everyone is doing it. Well, that also didn't really change, Jamie, to be honest. Like, back in those times as well, like, a lot of people were making music back then, and I do believe it has become more because it became a lot easier. Things were like, what's it called, like Splice and stuff. It just became a lot more easier to make music and all those AI tools. But to be honest, it's still the same thing. Like, not everyone is capable of doing it like consistently and doing it for a long period of time, because that's what's going to separate you from the rest. If you are the one who doesn't give up and hold on for the longest period of time, you will be the one who wins. Most of the music that gets released these days just gets snowed under, and you will never hear of it any more. So yeah, I don't think that really changed as well. What's up, John Jarris? Vinyl, yes, but the cost, if you want to do it yourself, yeah, it's pretty expensive. But if you can, like, create something like that for, like, let's say the super fans. Let's say you have 1,000 real fans, and you can create 10 or maybe 100 vinyls for your super fans. Like, I think that's priceless. Like, give them something in return. Because it used to be like a one-way street back in the days. Like, it's just an artist sending messages and that's about it. But these days it's becoming very interesting to interact with your audience and to build a connection with your fans. Talk with them, like, do things like this, meet them, talk to them. That's super important. Pepe says, I believe now to get gigs is all about who you know and network. There are DJs that play in top 100 clubs. I don't even do all this music career and have random releases here and there. Pepe, it always has been like that. It like, as far as I can think of, it always has been like that. Network is just super important. Like, you can have all the music, the best music out there, you can have the audience, but if you don't have the network of those people don't like you, you're fucked. So yeah, the network is an essential part of your artist career. Dario, no worries, man. Thanks for joining. Have a good day. But Pepe, that's really the case, you know. Like, the network, you know, that quote, you know, your network is your net worth. There's a reason why they say that. From your experience, what have you? Why is this emoji? What have you found are the best events to meet people at ADE? Honestly, with ADE, the best way to get in touch to people is to just go out on the streets. So don't even necessarily go to those events, but just walk around. It's not a very big area. Just walk around in those streets and get to know people, talk to them. That's the best way, like low key, you know, like not in like a forced setting, but more like, hey, by the way, I'm this guy. How are you doing? Like, hey, let's grab a coffee. More like a low entrance level instead of like forced in on a network event. What's up, Bad Monkey? Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Wow, we're already almost streaming for an hour. Let's go. Let's check my calendar. Okay. What's up, Pedro? Okay, everyone. I'm looking at my... wait, let me just do this question. What do you think of people doing exchanges for playing? I see so many even ask us, but if you cannot offer anything, they don't talk to you. I found aggressive, but it is what it is. And with exchanges, you mean like giving them another spot to play in your local town, for example? Or what is it that you necessarily mean? What's up, Bad Monkey? It could be a natural way, you know, like giving them something in exchange to play. Like, I see this happening as well. Like, if you, let's say, have a residency in a local bar, you could exchange a gig with that other person. So you play in their club and you book them in your local bar. Could be a nice way. Like, eventually, again, it comes down to value, you know, like what kind of value are you able to give and what's interesting to them. If that person is also a local DJ, then he, just like you, is interested to play somewhere else. So if you can offer him a booking in your local town and he can offer you a booking in his local town, like, that's a nice exchange, I would say. Without even getting paid, you know, like, it's just about getting opportunities and building new crowds everywhere. But if we don't have any residencies, cannot play, basically. Yeah, in that case, it's a bit hard. But as I again said, like, it's about offering value. Maybe you're great at creating content and you can create a piece of content for that person, which he can use for social media for free, for example. Or maybe you could like do a remix or like offer something you are capable of delivering, which he might not be. Not music related, but putting anything on the barbecue today. That's a very good point. I do think I might grill somebody a very nice sandwich yesterday, which was a sloppy Joe. I'm not sure if you've ever had one, but a sloppy Joe is like, mwah. It's nice if you if there's a place in your town where you can get a nice sloppy Joe. I can recommend that. So probably tonight a chicken burger. Thanks for asking. Everyone who's watching the stream right now, thank you so much for joining and sending in your questions. I've had a great time. We've been here for an hour, and I have to go to continue my day of working. But I've really enjoyed my time here. I will try to do this more often in the future. If you want to continue the conversation, please join my Discord, which is the Sukiverse. The link is in my Instagram profile, and it's in the description of the YouTube video as well. So if you want to join this conversation and connect with a lot of artists from all over the world, it's about 500 right now. We do Q&A sessions there as well, so you're more than welcome. The link is in my artist Instagram profile and in the YouTube description. So Thanks again. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks for sending me your messages and have a great day. Bye-bye.